This is the end, beautiful friend.
Today we're talking about Conibear traps. I prefer Conibear traps over snares because I think it's quicker, which meaning the animal doesn't have to struggle as much, doesn't get his adrenaline pumping through the meat and stuff like that, which I personally think is what gives it the gamey taste that people are so afraid of or don't like or whatever. Conibears are non-directional, meaning they can be tripped from going one way or the other, and I've got two set up here. They're brand new, and I'm going to trip them both off. One's facing north, one's facing south, but the safeties are facing in opposite directions, as you see right here. And if you don't think these things will do some damage to you, it broke that in half, which is a little thinner than my hand. This one right here, same way. Takes a little bit to set them off, but if you stick your finger in there, I can guarantee you that you're going to come back with one broken. People say, oh, they won't break a finger. I beg to differ. You see how hard that thing hits. Now, that being said, most people get bit by their trap taking the animal out. There's plenty of ways to do it. You can squeeze it, loosen it up, and shake the animal out. Or you can step on it and just pull it out. You'll probably ruin the meat or rip a limb off. But the biggest thing is setting your traps. And I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't put anything in your pack that only does one thing. Meaning the trap setters. That's all it'll do, is set traps. So what I'm going to do is show you the way that I prefer to set these traps. I'll do it this way, and then I'll use a GoPro to give you guys some zoom in ability on them. But first thing you want to do is take your trigger latch and face it away from you. I use my foot. I'm always wearing a good heavy boot. I put my foot right in the center, and then I take just paracord. I used orange today so you guys will be able to see it better. The springs are a two-piece with holes in the top. So you run through the top hole, down through the bottom hole, like this. Take your string and loop it around. Top hole, bottom hole, and then run all of your string through your loop. And then cinch it up. Open your trap up to where you can get your foot in. Then you should pull it around. And just pull straight up on it. Set your little safety hook. Now, using paracord is pretty tight. Keep your fingers out of the way. Loosen your string. And you can see the safety latch is right here. It's holding it. It's pretty safe. I mean, don't be foolish. I mean, a little common sense here will help everybody out. Besides, and if you're thinking about getting one of these because you think it's cool and you want to mess around with it, the thing you need to be in mind of, these things do one thing, and they do it very well, and that's dispatching small animals. You think it's people that like to mess around, don't use a lot of common sense, this trap is going to bite you. After that, spin it around, keeping your hands out of it, and you do the other side, same way. Put your string through the top spring latch, bottom spring, catch, reach through, grab it, loop it up. Now, a lot of people, there's people out there that say, oh, that ain't safe, that ain't the way to do that. That's fine. It's your prerogative. I'm not telling you it's safe. I'm telling you how I do it. And anybody that's watched our videos before, we don't sugarcoat anything. We don't pull punches. We tell you exactly how it is, so there's no surprises. And pull up tight using the string and your free hand. Put your safety hook in. I always take something else to pull my string out of the way. Now that you're done with that, move it aside. Now you're ready to open it up and set it. Always keep your fingers out of the way of these things. Like I said, if you don't have a lot of common sense, this is probably not the trap for you. You probably ought to stick with snares and things like that that doesn't have the power to break your fingers. Once you've got it and you're ready to set it, use both hands, squeeze it together, flip your safety latch over, latch it. Put your hands out of the way. Notice my hands never went in the center of that trap. Nothing else goes into the center of that trap now. Once you set this safety latch, you can take these safety hooks off. That trap is ready to go. Set it in the ground, or on top of the ground actually. It's ready to go. Now, be mindful of your state laws. I'm in the southeastern United States. You better know your laws because these things can get you in a lot of trouble. Some states require you to put your name, address, and contact information on each one of your traps. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't use this as a toy. That being said, happy hunting.